Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the United States of a Movie podcast. We're the movie podcast that makes every Monday a fun day as we get together and we talk movies, but we have a point here at the United States of a Movie. We're trying to find one movie to define each state in these United States. We've already done one trip around the states. We're currently finishing off our second one, as long as we pretend that one state doesn't exist, because this week we're stopping off in the state of Utah, where things got so interesting, and boy, can I not wait to try and rediscover one of the movies that we watched this week. But before we get there, I've got to welcome back my amazing co-host, as always, Ryan Nilbog in Arizona, buddy. Welcome back to the show.
It's so much worse when you say it out loud. you can't put a hard R on that one. Jesus. Now we are back, guys. We finally, the fans, you've asked for it, and they've asked for us to respectfully stop doing this show. But we continue on, and we powered through, and we found what I'm considering the contender for the greatest movie in America.
Yep. Or if not all time. I mean, funny enough, because isn't it like a Norwegian movie?
Impossible to know. A movie I for sure thought was Canadian, like my whole life.
I don't even know if it was made by human beings, and I can't wait to talk to it a little bit more, but we'll get to that first, because as always, in the middle of his very own video store in Los Angeles, California, Gene Freak! Welcome, Sheriff Gene Freak!
Sheriff Gene Freak.
That's right, I'm Gene Freak. I gotta say, like, when we got to that point in the movie, I wish you guys could have heard me, because I was just tears rolling down my face, laughing so hard. I was having trouble breathing. It was so...
I wasn't even entirely sure until I looked up the IMDb credit name, like for the name of that character, that it was in fact Gene Freak. I was like,
"Oh, it's on his badge." Yeah,
yeah. Honestly, I'm just going to bring everyone up to speed. The movie that we are talking about is the 1990 Italian independent dark fantasy horror film written and directed by Claudio Fragasso, Troll 2.
That's right.
A movie that doesn't have any trolls in it and is all about.
Or a Troll 1, famously.
Yeah.
It's this movie was one of the times that we as a group decided we're going to do a group watch. We all logged on at the same time. Will put in his Blu-ray. I'm sure that he has the Steelbook.
I'm surprised it's not a Green Ray. Wouldn't that be?
Oh my god!
Point?
But we started watching this movie, which apparently a lot of people are aware of from the 2009 documentary Best Worst Movie. It was an adventure. We started a text thread, which is my way now of rediscovering the movie, because in preparation for watching this movie, I may have smoked an entire joint before.
He ate some green goo prior to the film.
And it was such a good idea. But my memory of this movie is interspersed with just weird green stuff happening. A magical grandpa reading us a story a la sort of like Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
And the scariest woman we've all been very sexually attracted to.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm swiping right until I come across her. So
the most I can fix her character Will has ever discovered.
Oh my god!
In the world of movies, by far the most. Her name, the character name, is Credence Leonore Gielgud, played by Deborah Reed. And I love that the picture for Deborah Reed on IMDb is that character in just total sort of mutant.
If I'm not mistaken, she was like a special effects artist, and this was like her first feature. She might have also worked on the special effects, the air quotes special effects for this movie.
They are very special in this movie.
But they hold up, man. They look good. I was shocked. Like the practical stuff is great.
It's the entire cast of this movie went to a casting call hoping to be extras, and all ended up in leading roles. And
we got to do that. We got to bring that back.
Yes, we do. It's almost like this whole movie was made by just say whatever you think they're going to say.
Like sure.
just go for it. I will try and boil down Troll.
I just want to say I was so glad. I've seen this movie a number of times. I don't remember how I discovered it. maybe it was just like on cable at some point when I was a kid because I definitely didn't see this in the theater. And I don't think this movie had a
No,
theatrical release. But
nobody saw us in
I
theaters.
was so glad to like rediscover it through Ollie's eyes because you had never seen the movie before, and it was like I had never. I forgot the fucking cold open where they just bonk Robin Hood or whomever that guy is, and then you're just like, oh shit, they just launch you right into fucking goblin mode.
Yeah. I mean, the 4K copy that I was watching, which is so funny that this
The
is on
irony
4K.
of that, yeah.
Yeah, if ever a movie deserved not to be on 4K, it was this one. Uh, I was laughing off the bat because there's no I guess you guys had an MGM production
That's it.
logo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not mind you hit play and it just immediately starts into the woods. Like
This
just
movie is presented by no one.
No one.
yeah, just
Yeah.
no preamble
As
whatsoever.
it should be.
Yeah.
I could see a Canon logo in the front of this, or like a.
It, it would make sense, yeah, but no, nothing. Just straight up, all of a sudden, I didn't even sit down. I hit play. I was sitting and I looked up. I'm like, oh, we're going. Okay, got it.
From the twisted mind of YK Kim or something.
Yes, exactly. It feels exactly like a lost movie that was rediscovered.
Definitely, yeah.
It's. I mean, I remember the music being like something out of like the Commodore 64 slash Nintendo games.
Yeah, it sounded.
It
That's what I
was
said. Like very
great.
Sonic. The music does not match up with the tone of this movie at all.
No.
Is there a tone to this movie? The plot of the movie again, it was so bizarre. Is that the dad, who looks like an amalgamation of so many different actors at the same time while
Yeah,
having a completely forgettable face.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Dylan McDermott and Mulroney combined with a couple of other guys. The dad, for some reason, dreams of being a farmer. And so he takes his family, the daughter who definitely doesn't look exactly like Jodie Foster, the little son who gets into all kinds of problems, and I'm assuming that there was a mum there. I
Shane
barely remember.
2.0. Yeah.
They do
Yeah.
a home exchange to the rural farming community of Nilbog, Utah.
It's almost the exact same plot to the Dylan McDermott movie we just did. Like,
Right. I
but
is was
the idea of doing a house swap is
was that a thing
I
ever?
don't know.
I've
Dude,
never heard of this.
in like it is a thing because it's like the setup of the movie The Holiday, with you
Okay.
know, like it's with Cameron Diaz and what's her face. So this is something that people do, but doing it back then, 1990, you know, before internet and phone, and you just leave stuff there. And I'm sure
Yeah.
they left food for us. I mean, the other weird thing is they turn up at the person's house, this farming community, and their family's still there, and they go, "Here you go, enjoy our house." And
Right.
it's like they've got to drive like 1,000 miles to get to your house. This doesn't seem like a fair trade.
It's unclear how the distance between their home and their Nilbog home is, though.
Right.
It could have
Yeah.
been 45 minutes. Who fucking knows?
But at the same time that this has been set up, we've also in the intro, like I said, which is very, very Princess Bride, is that the story of goblins is being read to the kid by his grandfather.
Mhm.
And then the door opens, and it turns out that his grandfather is dead, and the ghost of his grandfather is advising him to be careful of goblins.
He's
Again,
warning them.
in the
Yeah.
movie Troll 2.
Mhm.
And so we've got a ghost grandfather.
You sound confused. Why are you confused?
Yeah.
I'm very confused. A ghost grandfather, a house swap to Nilbog, and then at this point, we've also learned that goblins can look like anybody. Is this correct? We can look or act.
I think it's more that they can look like Hicks. I think that is like
Yeah.
that is like their transforming ability. They can look like your average Apache Junction resident.
The laws of this movie are unclear at best.
Yeah.
But I mean, you start out in the kid's room, you find out. Let's speculate a couple of things. A, how did Grandpa die? Because that's never revealed, and I picture it's the most horrifying thing because it's established later that he is in hell. Like, what the
Yes.
fuck-
Yes.
That
What the
that
fuck
is
did
one of the
he
most shocking twists
Yeah.
to any movie. Just casually like, by the way, Grandpa's in hell.
And he's been dead
Anyway.
for. I think they say he's been dead for like 6 months.
Yeah,
right?
I
Yeah.
think 6 months. Yes. And then yes. And then he comes back and this time can die, and then he goes back to hell permanently.
Right.
We're getting ahead of
Well,
ourselves.
you pointed out the kids room is such a quintessential '90s, like
Oh my
every
God.
single fucking sports team.
Yeah, he
poster.
supported sports. That was his
Yes.
hobby. Sports
It's-
in general.
And I only picked up on it because the movie I co-wrote, Scare Us, has like unintentionally a very similar thing. Like we rented out an Airbnb for the film, and the room we used for the kids' room had like Chicago Cubs, Detroit Tigers,
Yeah.
Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm like, okay, so he likes every
Like
sport.
they just went to a pennant store and just picked a bunch of shit
Yeah.
off of the walls.
And
He had a
so
cool Joker poster. I think there was a Batman one in there
There
too.
Oh,
was.
I saw.
so he had a Killing Joke poster. He had a John Byrne Superman poster. I was like, dude, this kid
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
And it was a very 1990 movie, but it still coded very 80s to me.
For sure.
We were
Yeah.
introduced to Jodie Foster, Parents Are Dead, as Ryan described her. Bench pressing 5 pounds for an hour straight while listening.
Very sweaty. Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
her boyfriend breaks into the room. So one breaks into the bedroom. Two, then she screams. We've also had the small boy scream as well. Two pretty blood-curdling screams. The parents do not come to check. So a human man can climb through the window of his teenage daughter's room, and she can scream, and still nobody comes to help. How very 80s. This is the part where I was like,
I swear this was made in '87 and like released in 1990 straight to cable.
straight to
Yeah.
just the trash.
Yeah.
Now this is the part where, like, finding out that none of these people went to be extras and ended up with lead roles is that everyone. It seemed to me like everybody in the movie was actually Norwegian, and they were speaking English as a second language.
It's coded very foreign film for sure. Like
right.
all of it.
No,
all
it
of
is a foreign film, and it is, like it's an Italian independent movie, and it's made by an Italian guy. But you could have told me that none of the people in this movie actually spoke English, and that they've all sort of phonetically learned how to say their lines, because they all came out so weird at times.
There's a bit like, I think I even said when the boyfriend breaks into the daughter's room and they're talking, it's like you can practically see someone standing off camera holding a whiteboard with the
Like
with
SNL
the script
style.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like,
they're
I
just,
think
like,
you said
looking
it's like
over,
they
reading
they had enough money for one take every time. And so they just did it. Like,
Or it was just the perfect take every time. Like, who's to say?
It was so funny because so when we were done, I did immediately fire up the documentary because I'm like, I have to know like the backstory.
I'm going back to Nilbog.
Yeah, it is. So in 2009, they gathered like the director and the cat. They gathered pretty much everyone together, and the director of the movie is the kid in this movie. So that's who
of
made
the documentary. Okay.
Yeah, that's who
oh,
made
right.
the
I was like, wow,
I was
he's
like,
directed
what?
that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Unbelievable.
incredible.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
So it's so funny to see him go like interview all the people, and him and the guy who played the dad, like they're in most of it.
Yeah.
But they find the director and the screenwriter and bring him, and they're like kind of reenacting scenes like for the documentary and for live stage shows. And one of the actors does say like Claudio's English has gotten way better because he's like he actually understands what we're saying now.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, okay, pieces are falling into place. Things are making sense.
It was hard to explain to Ollie just like the cultural phenomenon this had. Like even before that documentary came out, like this is a like The Room level of type of obsession, like a Rocky Horror thing, and yet there are no like midnight showings of this movie, so it's still a bit of like a redheaded stepchild in that kind of thing, that type of genre.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was one of those first like so bad it's good like that really kind of like broke through. And especially kind of like in the early 2000s, like as it was switching from like VHS to DVD and Alamo Drafthouse became a thing. That's when it really started to pick up steam. And I think nowadays we just have so many of these so bad they're good movies. So many we've done on this podcast.
Yeah. We
That
might have to have a separate bracket.
yeah, like so this movie's kind of like pop culture wise kind of fallen off a little bit and replaced by movies like Samurai Cop as it should be.
Or a New York Ninja. It was
New York
making me,
Ninja.
New York Ninja was definitely like in the back of my mind as I was watching. Like, fuck this movie. If only this movie had ninjas in it.
Yeah, oh my god.
Did it not? Honestly, the more I get into looking like little facts up about this movie, the better it gets. As it turns out that, like, for example, our theories were sort of like confirmed in many ways. That this is one of my favorite ones, that the director and his wife, who only spoke Italian, much like Gene Freak was just saying, wrote the screenplay in very poor English, and the actors had suggested maybe they ad-lib their lines to make it sound better, and it was forbidden. All lines had to be read as written.
Oh, no.
So that is why that's why the whole movie just doesn't.
Such a Coen Brothers move.
But better.
Wait, what? Wait, what? In Best Worst Movie, Dan Packard, which is I'm assuming is the kid. I'm going to double check that one.
That might be the dad?
That might be the dad. But basically, Dan Packard. Oh, he's the drugstore owner. Oh my God.
Oh, that guy. That guy.
The creepy guy.
My God.
That guy.
Yeah.
This is again amazing. Dan Packard said that he was in and out of a mental hospital while filming.
Yes.
Oh.
And when he watched it later, he realized he isn't acting in his scenes. That's just
is
yeah,
deeply
it's
problematic.
like, oh, we had a serial killer on set, and he just, was doing weird stuff.
And honestly, like of all the air quotes actors in this movie, pretty good performance.
Yeah, no kidding.
Dare I say method? I don't know.
Yeah,
so this is even better, guys. It keeps getting better. The actors were only given parts of their script on a scene-by-scene basis. So very rarely did they get any kind of context as to what was supposed to be happening. This is like...
Did the editor of this movie kill himself?
He Nilbogged himself. This is genuinely making the movie even better for me. Yeah. It's almost because there was times I go, it's like watching improv. In a way, like it's just like people are just just jamming, man. They're just jamming this movie.
And to our audience, I've seen Ollie do improv, and it's pretty much exactly like this movie.
Well, that's because Ollie pisses on everybody's food, like so.
There you go. So that was a moment when this movie
clicked.
Ryan and I both, dude, both of our texts arrive at the same second on the text thread of this movie's amazing. It's just straight up. Okay, I'm in. But yeah, so basically the goblins are in Troll 2 are vegetarians, and a big part of what they want you to do is to eat this sort of magical food that they make for you. It's just the green, do you want to eat this green donut? Fuck no, I don't want to eat that green donut. But everyone else in the movie does. And when you eat that, then you start sweating green, and then you kind of turn into a food, and then they eat you. So they really want you to eat food. Now, magical, mystical, dead grandpa, like I said, keeps advising the son, who's the only person that can see him right now. But don't worry, that changes. That rule goes out the window later.
The movie gives up on that, yeah.
But so how can he stop them from eating the amazing food that's been presented to him? He just stands up, starts taking his pants off, and then it just cuts to is afterwards pissed on everything.
And it's a running thing that this family has not eaten. They're starving, and they first get into town, and the previous family left this really, really weird spread for them. And, again, everything is color coded green, just so you as the audience know the food bad.
Yeah,
and he's got to come. He's got to think on his feet, and it's when I do it at Thanksgiving.
Speaking of thinking on feet, so there's a sort of subplot of the girl's boyfriend brings up in an RV a bunch of his buddies. So we got 4 sort of teenage boys.
His very straight friends.
Yes. But one of them gets sort of turned into a tree. Kind of.
Well, let's back up. They're going into town. The boyfriend's going to town to follow the girlfriend and her family. His friends tag along because they're under the assumption that there's a bunch of hot single ladies in this
Nilbog.
In this town that they've never heard of. They're just under this preconceived notion that there's young virgins. That's their whole shtick.
Right.
And I guess they were right.
I mean, it's never established if the gremlins have sex or not. So. Or goblins,
gremlins, whatever.
Gremlins, goblins, trolls, who
it's
cares?
Called Troll 2. But yeah, so one of the guys that is, one of the boys is kind of turned into a tree.
Millhouse. Let's just call him Millhouse.
Oh, I think I called him Rick Moranish.
Yes, that's very good. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. He was very Rick Moranish.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his, the actor's shoes were screwed into the base of the tree pot, allowing him to remain stationary, but he had to stand inside the pot in his tree makeup for 14 hours.
Even when they'd cut, you could just tell he was just... they were filming other scenes and he's just there.
Yeah, just still there. Can you imagine the PTSD of that day? 14 hours a day.
I'm living through it right now.
but the makeup on his legs didn't go up past his knees, really. He could have sat. They could have gotten him a chair. What? I guess
I feel that if you would have told me...
I've been invented yet.
If you would have told me the budget for this movie was like $30 million in 1990, I'd be like, yeah, no, I get it. Sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
This is one quarter of a
All that
Twister.
catering.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, he goes because they're in the RV. He goes out to explore or to smoke a cigarette, I think, and then he just as he's walking through the woods, he finds this like a woman who's in distress and
Yeah, running away from something. And so
running
he does
away
what you
from
should do,
something, and
chase
also
her.
him. He chases her
Right.
down, tackles her, and that's when you are first introduced to the post fantasy storytelling of the goblins. And boy, do they look hilarious. He is not so nonplussed about discovering them. It's as though he's like been in this situation a number of times.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like,
So,
oh, again.
yeah, and he goes up
Yeah.
and he starts just berating these little Ewoks. Gets a
Yeah.
spear in his chest.
He gets speared, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's where we meet
They find the house that is also that looks like an old church.
like an old chapel.
They go
Yeah.
in and it's like this weird fucking. It's now like what you'd see in like a small town apothecary. Like
Yeah, it's like a Sedona crystal shop.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks
Yeah.
like, you know.
90s Spencer's Gifts, sure.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is a great paragraph that I will just read you as a breakdown. To just like, this is how the movie goes. They flee to the chapel where they encounter the goblin's queen, druid witch Credence Leonore Gielgud, who uses the Stonehenge magic stone to give the goblins power. Credence tricks them into drinking a magic potion that dissolves the girl into vegetable matter, which the goblins eat. Arnold witnesses this, exclaiming, "Oh my God!" which is a great gif, if you ever want to use it for a reaction, before being transformed into a tree. That is how quickly this movie moves,
Yeah.
and that's how quickly things change. And you're just there, and then you just go, and you're like, "Wow, there's
That's
not
at like
enough meat
minute
in the
10
world."
of this movie. I mean, like,
Yeah.
like time ceased to exist while we were watching this. It could have been 80 minutes. It could have been 4.5 hours. I don't know. But the line reading, everyone knows the "oh my God," but the rest of the dialogue is like, "Oh my God, they're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me."
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
I did point out that it was kind of like a really an X-Files episode. Like when X-Files went funny were like my favorite X-Files episodes, and it's like if you just put Mulder and Scully in the middle of this, it would have been
Right.
absolute gold. Not that it wasn't already absolute gold, but it would have been even more gold.
Yeah.
Because it just got so silly in a great way.
Yeah, this is such a movie. This movie, like, if you were just like someone like Will casually walking through your local video store, or like you're just like, "Oh, Troll 2, that seems interesting." Like you would never pick this. Like you would
No.
never pick this movie up. Like, but it is maybe one of the best group watches you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's such a fun. Like I said, it's like a Rocky Horror type thing. It's so schlocky and so bad that I'm so glad we got to watch it together.
See,
Yeah.
this is where I like, okay, I'm going to the text thread to try and piece together the movie. This is a flow that I'm like, guys, what happened? Because Will, Magic Nightmare Grandpa, can stop time, huh? Sure, why the fuck not? And then I go, and they die. Ryan, Denny Villeneuve could never have made a masterpiece like this. And then we all go, what? Ha ha ha, ha ha ha, what? What a twist. And all I say is, oh my God, the belt. Spielberg would have loved that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's when the father is confronting the son, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the biggest jump scare of my life because this is right after the kid had pissed on the food. And so he throws the kid on the bed and he starts undoing his belt. And a shock of terror went through my body. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to piss on the kid. I was so
That's the first thought you had?
I was scared. I was like, oh my God, that's like, and then when he's just like, no, I'm notching my belt so that I don't feel hunger pains. I'm like, somehow weirder, but thank God we didn't go in that
Yeah,
direction.
that was the twist. That was it. That's the one. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you said, oh Jesus, I thought the dad was going to piss on him. And all Ryan said was, stop trying to write a better movie.
I think I said at the end, once we finish this, we're not even going to talk about this movie. We're just going to live table read our text.
Right. Which we should. It's
Now,
so good.
coming soon to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh God. And then, yeah, this is where, yeah, once the Druid Witch turns up, the whole thing about this movie is that every second that woman is on screen, every line reading is just, you know
Oh
what?
my God.
Immaculate.
She invented the word enunciation.
She's
Yes.
just, she's so weird and absolutely just balls to the wall, committed to just making the strangest movie ever, and she's the one person in this movie that got the assignment.
Yeah,
because
it reminded me. I think I said it reminded me of like Angelica Houston in the Witches movie where they turn little children into mice.
Yes,
yeah,
but like that, just like big fucking swing, and it was just great. And she was so deeply arousing.
She had a different facial expression for every syllable she uttered. It was incredible.
The amount of eye acting, and she's got more weird pauses. Then what's his face? The guy who I can't do an impression of, so I'm doing it. Like, who's the weirdest guy in movies that can't speak like a normal human being? I need more cowbell.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Thank you, Christopher Walken. How did you not get it from my perfect Christopher Walken?
I did. I wanted.
Yeah. No, we both knew who you were talking about. I wanted to see how long this would go for.
But she had Christopher Walken energy.
She was moving facial muscles that I didn't even know existed. Like it is just, and the makeup is just this harsh, like red cheeks and the most fucked up teeth you've ever seen. And again, 10 out of 10 would smash.
Yeah.
Will and I were fighting over her, and I was just like, "What the fuck's going on?
What's wrong with you guys? Her lips are all cracked, and we're like, we know."
Yeah.
And it's like, right. And James Cameron has definitely seen this movie, and I was like, it's this whole thing is like, I said this movie was like a giant Truman Show style.
Oh, because there was a line where the grandfather's, I forgot what the line was. It was something like "Come with me if you want to live" type of line reading. I'm like, oh, for sure. It just gets weirder and weirder as the movie goes on. This is a great quote from Ryan. The squelchometer is off the charts. A lot of squelching in this movie. Yes.
Phenomenal amount of squelching.
Not such Possession as have we seen such a squelching movie.
Yeah, the second hottest performance next to this movie.
Explain to me the try and explain to me. How about that? The Nilbog milk. Like, why is milk the only thing you can get in Nilbog? Why is it gross? Why they make everybody try to drink it?
And it's chunky too.
It was chunky. It looked like cottage cheese.
I think it was just another delivery system for them to turn people into goo. Honestly,
okay, this is the question I had as I was watching the movie.
Why isn't it green? Yeah.
Why isn't it green? But also, so the goblins are vegetarians, but they're turning people into vegetables, and I'm like,
to then eat them.
I'm
So
like, why not just? Yeah, like why not just eat
vegetables?
Vegetables.
Stop trying to write a better movie.
But it's like the guy's trying to be a farmer. He can just farm you vegetables.
This movie has so many good A, B, and C plots. Like the core of it is like they get into town, then they go into town, and that's when you meet like the townsfolk, right?
Well, that's when we meet the greatest sheriff of all time,
Gene Freak, right? Well, so the one guy who is trying to rescue the girl who's then later turned into a tree, watching the girl he's with turn into goo, and then he gets grooted, as I was calling it.
Yeah.
Like, again, really cool stuff. But his other friend is like, well, better go out and look for him. And he's running. And then that's where we're introduced to Gene Freak. Because, like, the creepiest, like, slow car pull up, like, hey, fucking hop in. Hands him what looks like a green cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's a green hamburger. Wouldn't eat that. And then, that's when Druid is the boy's name. Gets into town, goes to the store, drinks the poisonous Nilbog milk, which makes him dizzy.
Just drinking hot milk, like, ugh.
Oh, it's not refrigerated either, by the way. If people at home, if you were wondering, like, what freezer did they get it at? None. It's just on the shelf. Like,
then at some point there's the tree.
Oh, they tell him that he discovers the town folks outside of the general store, and they're like, "Hey, your friend, we saw him. He went to that's the one house that looks like a church. Like, okay, it's right over there. It's like literally, it's a small town,
right?"
That's when he discovers his other friend, and then he's
killed off screen, and then Credence, our favorite lady, she turns up and just chainsaws the kid up. The one that's a tree. Remember that?
He's like laughing. He's not like...
That's right!
He's like laughing maniacally.
He puts I think pretty sure she chainsaws his dick off. And he's
it was kind of like a sexual experience.
It was very weird and sexual.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. And then I'm now realizing there is like a third friend who doesn't exist. Oh no, he gets popcorned. That's the guy. He gets
That
popcorned.
yes.
The popcorning. Okay, we've got to talk about the popcorning.
We're jumping ahead.
No,
We're
look,
jumping
there's
ahead.
no, there's nothing.
What's the rush here?
Nothing makes this movie make any sense anyway.
Well, there's a part of the movie where our witch lady becomes a little less hot and she looks pretty normal. And brings as you do, a corn and a cob to this very erotic encounter with this college boy. And
who's watching TV and he's like flipping the channels, but then flips to a channel where he sees her outside of their Winnebago.
yes. Mhm.
I'm like, who is filming this? I was saying, I hope it was cut to one of the and playing this like really sexy jazzy kind of music. I thought it was gonna like cut to like the goblins like off to the side, like one of them's got a camcorder, the others are like just playing instruments.
Yeah, it was kind of like Betty Boop music is like what was playing behind her, and I don't understand how.
It was Star Wars. It was Star Wars jizz. Is what it was.
Absolutely, that famous genre jizz.
It's the movie. So there's this whole sort of like the young boy seems to figure out that like we're surrounded by goblins because his ghost father, like grandfather, has told him. No one else is kind of like really believing him. I do love the bit where like it's such a hard left turn where like the townspeople have thrown a surprise party for the family. They're all there trying to get them to eat
and
food.
they're all starving. Like everyone that's not a goblin is starving because they have no food. And they keep trying to get them to eat. That's like the agency this movie has.
So the grandfather Grandpa Seth tries to get his grandson to cause a distraction. Since the first time was peeing on everything. So in this case, it goes, here, use this, and just gives him.
How is he able to he can interact with objects?
Yes, because he gives him a Molotov cocktail.
He does. He's just like, here you go. Like,
here, use this. And you're like, what?
Well, I mean, they probably do have a lot of Molotov cocktails in hell. So
yeah, I was gonna say, the more you watch this movie and the more you see the child interact with Grandpa, the more you wonder, how did he die? Like, what horrific thing happened?
Yeah.
That's why Troll 3. I've got to see it. I have to find out what happened to Grandpa. Why
Troll Origins.
It's like what sent him to hell. We got dark speculating about what sent Grandpa Seth
the reveal
to hell.
is that your grandmother was part troll. I loved a troll who wasn't clean.
The best part of the documentary is they interview that guy who played the grandpa, and he says he's like, it was one of my goals in life to be in So Bad It's Good movie. And because he was I guess an actor who just was in minor things. And he's like, and then Troll 2 came out and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I got to be in one. Stoked.
Without knowing any backstory, I picture him as being this prestigious British stage and play actor.
Yeah, incredible sort of Shakespearean trained.
Yeah.
He was giving
Henry VIII.
He was giving Orson Welles, just incredible performance. But I couldn't help but wonder, I'm like, how, what caused this man to be relegated to the hellscape?
God, I know. That's why we need the Troll Origins : Goblins.
Nilbog's Lament. The iconic reveal, when the boy and his dad go into town. And he discovers that it's the most famous shot in the movie. Because I remember the first time seeing it, it did actually blow my mind. Because the town is called Nilbog, and you as a young child aren't piecing together that's goblin spelled backwards. So thankfully, there's a line of dialogue where the boy audibly says, "Nilbog is goblin spelled backwards."
Well, because he sees it in the wing mirror, doesn't he? He's like, finally it comes together. I mean,
as the dad is reading his little child's vegetable book.
Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, the weirdness continues. The bit where the little boy is the little boy, right? But basically, sort of finds all the goblins, or finds the people. It's very Hot Fuzzian, I think. I
think I even said the greater good.
The very Hot Fuzz sort of vibe. But it's the bit where Dad sort of discovers the priest and a whole bunch of grown-ups trying to force feed his child ice cream.
Yeah,
and they just give the most generic sort of explanation. He goes, "Oh, it seems to make sense."
Well, he also discovers that the family that's supposed to be in his house is also there.
Are there, and they were just like, "Oh, our car broke down. We're just here." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Literally, everyone surrounding his child, trying to force ice cream down his throat, and he walks in, and everyone's like, Hey.
Nothing. Yeah. That's when you're introduced to the preacher character. Again, overlap with Footloose. Great. I was worried we wouldn't get there, but we did.
We found our,
But
our
the
symmetry.
reveal when he's like, "Look, they're eating all this stuff, and they also have 4-leaf clover marks on their face." I'm like, "What was that for?" Like,
Yeah, I couldn't tell they were 4-leaf clovers until they were
No.
described as a 4-leaf clover. I was like, why does everyone have a weird, like someone's put cigarettes out on everybody's
yeah,
face?
it's
Right.
a pop mark.
it was so annoying. This is where Ryan dropped his absolute gold, which he did mention before we started rolling, but how one of these movies is about the dangers of societal pressures and honoring the word of the Bible, and the other movie is Footloose.
Put that on my fucking tombstone.
Oh my god.
When you're buried in Nilbog.
So
yeah.
at this point, so the whole thing, right? So the movie, it just is just happening. Okay, it's a fever dream to anybody that's listening or watching at home. Like I said, at some point, Grandpa Seth is banished to hell by the witch. But if you think that's the end of it with Grandpa Seth, you'd be wrong. And then, like I said, this is where the movie just started getting so bizarre. For example, like I said, the crazy witch becomes much less sort of sexy Borg queen because she just looks like a normal person. Which
Yeah.
for some reason we were like, oh no, don't like this. Bring the crazy one back.
No.
But she does take a piece of like a corn cob. A very erotic corn cob to the RV, seduces one
Metaphor,
of the boys, and then it's so weird because she sort of like is biting the corn and puts the corn in his mouth, and then
Just popcorn explodes.
this popcorn starts exploding from everywhere. This guy goes out in a
Like a real genius style, like amount of popcorn.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it's a hilarious amount of popcorn that just starts flooding into the RV, apparently drowning that boy in popcorn after seducing him. And I'm like, if you gotta go,
yeah.
Yeah.
She popped his corn. for sure.
she very much did. But then everybody holds a seance to communicate with Grandpa Seth, and this is
Yeah,
where
we Will and I like immediately. It's like we were texting from each other's phones. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's where at this point it just goes, oh, by the way. There's so much, oh, by the way. I'm now come back because of the seance, but I can only be back for 10 minutes. That's the rules. And if I do die, and I will die, this is where I'm going to be dead forever. But by the way, this is the rock that holds all their power. And if we can destroy the rock, we can destroy the goblins. And it's like, it's just, none of this stuff was referenced before. None of this stuff was referenced after. We just get the, oh, by the way part of the movie.
I'm now remembering like that scene, that seance scene is like so Sam Raimi coded, like the way it's shot.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of weird Dutch angles in this movie. It's incredible. Like I actually did appreciate some of the filmmaking choices watching this really terrible film.
Yeah.
And like, is that the scene where like they're doing the seance, but a goblin comes through and then they chop his arm off, and then it cuts to the goblin queen, and her arm is also cut off, so she puts it into like the rock vagina, and then it heals, right? Okay, obviously. So yeah, it's pretty. What's hard to follow?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you struggling with here?
Grandpa Seth has been talking to the sister through a mirror. That was actually kind of, I liked the little
cool
mirror
shot.
gag. Good for them.
Yeah.
That's it's a good
Yeah,
simple trick, but they pulled it off. There was that
Suck it,
weird
Wizard of
jump
Oz.
scare, kind of like you said.
that was fucking cool. Oh
with
yeah,
the-
that's
Yeah.
with the goblin coming through
Smashes
and the
through.
arm and stuff like that. It was just, the thing is, guys, it sounds like we're talking about this movie sucking. It doesn't.
no, it's
It's
amazing.
a
No.
good movie. It's like, it's so fun to watch because you never know where it's going.
Will, did you have the 4K of this
No,
movie?
no. I rented it from Videotech, our
Okay.
favorite video store.
But now are you going to purchase this movie?
I'm gonna purchase it, get the whole movie storyboard tattooed on my back. I'm buying property in Nilbog.
Just Nilbog for life on your
Yeah.
fucking neck. Yeah.
I'm eating all kinds of green goo.
Well, that was before you saw the movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
now I have a reason. I can.
Yeah. I love the creature effects of these, like seeing the goblins. Because there's only like 2 different kind of goblin masks that they had.
Yes.
But there was the one with the bug eyes that looks just like a crazy old lady.
The Bug Eyes one was amazing.
That was killing me every time it was on screen because that's the most like you just
because
like-
they only have the one expression. That's great.
yes.
And even later when they're like eating the goo, they're just like wiping it on the mouth.
Like, not getting any of it in their mouth at all.
You can kind of see the mouth inside the mouth.
Definitely,
of the people a couple of times, which is hilarious.
It's the like film version of seeing like the Ninja Turtles mask with someone's actual teeth,
right?
Like personified in this movie.
Yeah,
I did describe the Druid Witch as the horny version of the witch from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like for where the energy of this movie goes.
Definitely,
it's the amount of notes we have. It's like 10 million text messages. Like it's just like, oh, that's right. Like the song that was playing during the corn hub scene. It was like,
like it
was one note different from like a Tom Jones, like a classic Tom Jones song that they use. They go, and the guys, you can't use it. You've got to change one note. And then
put it in reverse.
We can get away with it. And it was just like, that was weird. It was so weird as she said.
And then you get to the end and you see composed by Tom Jones.
He's a big fan of goblins.
Oh my god.
But like this is again like going back, we were talking about I think like Goosebumps or one of those other movies where it's just like such a CGI heavy like fantasy type of piece.
Yeah.
And this is just, it was so refreshing to see this just schlocky practical stuff. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's great. I mean,
like I'd be proud if I worked on this movie, you know?
Oh
I
yeah.
would tell everybody that if I'd been in this movie because
It's Gene Freak's only credit.
Oh my god! Well,
unfortunately,
you can dine out on that forever.
I think he died in 1993, like 3 years after this movie.
Well, the goblins ate him, so that's yeah.
Do goblins ever truly die? Who's to say?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they napalm that one, the scene where they napalm the one goblin and like the entire townsfolk surround the family.
Yeah,
It's just like, we really need to pad the runtime of this, and the family's just like looking around, slowly backing away. It goes on for way too long.
The goblins are confusing in how they confront people because one of them will burn, and then they're like, "Hey, man,"
because they can't just attack
doing?
you. They can't force you to eat. They have to like rely on you to eat the food to convert you to the goo that then they consume.
Yeah, it's a very sort of like
how hard is that?
Yeah, it's very anti-Peter. This movie is very Peter coded.
Did not think this movie would have a message to it.
Yeah, and arguably it still doesn't, but it has an attempt at a message.
Yeah.
You know.
But the only way to sort of defeat the rock, the magical vagina rock, or whatever it was, is the power of goodness.
I thought you were going to say paper.
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors. But yeah, it's like Will was like, yeah, the power of goodness. Grandpa, you're literally from hell.
Yeah.
like you're on the Epstein list, Grandpa.
Yeah,
that's why he's in hell. I knew it.
He went to Nilbog Island.
He flew the plane. I knew it. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
this movie did forever change how I say that and the context of which I use it.
And the only way to defeat them was to eat meat, a bologna sandwich or something like that.
I mean, the thickest if you like, it's as though if you just took a pack of like Oscar Mayer bologna out of the round container,
right,
and put it between two pieces of bread. I mean, this thing was 2 inches thick. I think I said, I was like, that's the most disgusting thing in this movie.
He said that's the grossest thing in the movie. Will's like, this is why I don't eat vegetables. Then I was like, like it just felt at one point it felt like we just cut back from commercial. Do you remember that moment? It was just such a random. It's like just for no reason. It's definitely like, look, and a commercial break will go here. I almost wish it had been like one of those Mexican beer commercials.
Oh my god!
Yes, yeah, for the Star Wars. Yeah,
but then I was like, basically, I said, yeah, this movie is the ending of the movie is if you've ever seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, basically the same thing, like just less Nazis, but basically the exact same.
Oh yeah,
thing.
all of it. Yeah, just like how all of the goblins are dying. I mean, but it was fucking cool, man. It was really cool. I feel like I misremembering them. Like them doing like dummy explosions on all of them. Like, do they not? But they don't explode. They just kind of like
everything is going to kind of melt.
Yeah. More fluids.
Yeah, more squelching.
Yeah. And then you get the happiest thing of all.
Yeah, well, this is great. Actually,
I couldn't wait for Ollie to see this because I'm like, I already know because now we're like minute 75 of this movie going into the final act, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm now remembering this for the first time.
Well,
Like I was
we
so happy
get
to
back
read it.
home. The dad's like, "Oh man, I gotta go drop in at the office." I mean, you've just
What?
been through. Like his first thought is like,
I
"Oh
think
man, I got some work to do."
it was the quote from Wet Hot American Summer. They're like, "Ah, man, it's good to get back. It's good to get back, even if we're only gone for a few hours."
Yeah.
And at this point, I was like, this people are being weird. This is going to be weird. And you know what? It does. It gives us.
We
it gives
joke
us-
about the dodgeball ending a lot, and
Oh
this
my
one
God.
fucking nails
You know
it.
what?
Actual dodgeball
I'm
ending.
not even going to spoil it. I'm going to just tell everybody is like, no, you got to watch this movie because however you think this movie's going to end, it goes a whole
Yeah.
different way.
You're completely wrong.
And
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, the spoiler is, he's Tyler Durden the entire time. But yes, we get to the movie. I rated it 1,000 out of 10.
Mhm. Pretty sensible.
Will,
little low.
Is
Yeah.
this the best movie we've ever watched? I suggested maybe it's the best movie we've ever made. And then Ryan and I, at the exact same time, both text, should we watch it again?
Yeah. I think should we run it back? Or?
I would not have been opposed. Had
What's
it
great-
not been so late, I would have been like, "Yep, let's do it."
What's great was the fallout. Like the following day, all of my algorithm was all Goblin related.
You know, I could not more highly recommend this movie.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
100% get as many people you know together and sit in a room. And I don't care if you're doing it sober, if you're doing it on alcohol, weed, mushrooms. There is no wrong answer for how to approach this movie, but just go in just ready for your world to get rocked in ways you never knew it could get rocked. Yes, there will be a corn scene where someone drowns in popcorn through sex. Yes, that's gonna happen. People are gonna turn into trees.
Movies used to be good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What's the MCUification and the Netflixification of movies?
I think the problem
Movies
is
used
too
to be
like
good.
I think
Yeah.
the problem is now that like movies like this, like Troll 2 exists, people are trying to make a modern like movie like that, but it just feels like they're trying to replicate something like it. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
doesn't.
Who's seen Dinklage's Toxic Avenger movie?
I have.
Is it any good? See, is this kind of what you're talking about?
Kind
Is
of, yeah.
is people are
Yeah.
kind of like swinging for the weird fence, as opposed to, I think what makes these movies great is that they're taking them 100% seriously. When they
Yeah, of
did,
course.
Yes.
you know, Miami Connection, when we did, the New York Ninja, when you see these movies, they're approaching them dead serious. They're not trying to wink at you. They're not trying to sort of like going, "Oh, this is crazy," right? It's like, "No, guys, this is my vision. This is what we're gonna do." And like you said, like Ryan, like you said at the very beginning, like The Room. You know, now Tommy Wiseau will talk about it like I was trying to make people laugh. It's like, no, you weren't, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
You were just making a movie,
You were trying to make a good movie from memory.
and it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's like that's what this movie is. It's just so fun and stupid and nonsensical and balls to the wall and improvised and in every single way. You just have to see it. It's the only thing that I can tell you. Like if you're watching or listening to this right now, put Troll 2 right up.
This is like a movie back in the day when Ollie used to have his like movie watch parties, and Mrs. would make like would cater the event around the movie, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And like it was just at this point it would just be like, here's your fucking green jello, you piece of shit monsters, like fuck out of my house.
Where it was shot in Utah does actually.
Oh
they
yeah,
have-
that's what state we're doing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
We have actually they did have a Troll 2 day. You know, these people are like they're very proud of it.
I'm surprised they don't have like at this point have an actual town of Nilbog.
Yeah, honestly, at
real.
this point,
Like
you
what are they doing?
change
Like,
the name of the town to Nilbog once a year. You know,
with some goofy foreign influencer
it's kind of
just
like you were
nilbogging
saying.
around.
Yeah, right. It says, you know, people compare it to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and the two films have been screened together. I mean,
Oh
that
my
would
God.
be amazing. That would be amazing. I mean, yeah, the fact that I'd never heard of this, the reputation of this movie had never found me. it was like, you know, it's actually I was just doing a video about it because I was joking with Mrs. because have I ever told you guys this, but the 30th anniversary of Romeo and Juliet just happened, the Baz Luhrmann movie,
Okay.
and like I went in to watch it.
I was like, that book has to be older than that.
Yeah, it's 400. But I never studied. I only studied Macbeth at school, so when I watched the movie, I didn't know what was going to happen at the end. So when the movie, like, I'm the only person on earth that watched Romeo and Juliet, and it got to the end, and I'm like, "Whoa, holy shit! Didn't see that coming." It was like Sixth
Lame.
Sense kind of twist. It was like Kaiser Soze level.
That's fucking hysterical.
Fucking hell! Did you guys see Romeo and Juliet? Got a bit of a twist ending on that one. Blew my fucking mind.
And you're from England where Shakespeare was invented.
Mate, like I said, it is my deepest shame. I just recorded a video. It'll be up on my socials next week.
All the letterbox reviews from 500 years ago are
Yeah.
raving about the twist, and then one more 500 years later is Ollie Pettigrew being like, "Whoa, this is crazy!"
Did not see that shit coming. Bloody hell, guys.
All the comments are gonna be like, spoiler alert. Thanks for ruining this movie for me.
It's sort of like how I've told everybody who watched the movie Hamnet. I'm like, "What happens to the kid in the end?" I haven't gotten there yet.
Why did they spell this title wrong?
Yeah,
But this movie was like that for me.
Mhm.
Of just it was a pure like
it's like Romeo and Juliet.
like exactly
I
like
was
it's like
you're-
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
This movie is Shakespearean.
It's the most Garth Marenghi adjacent movie I think we've
Yes.
covered on this podcast. You know?
Yeah. Oh my God, I want to hear Garth Marenghi's novel adaptation. Of this.
Right? Like that's all I can think about. I mean, it's all I ever think about, but
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try and make this sentence make sense, but this is great.
Yeah.
After Troll 2 was released on home video, some regional distributors continued to build on the success of the previous Troll, distributing two films as sequels, Quest for the Mighty Sword and The Crawlers, known as Troll 3 or Contamination 7. Troll 3, using a hobgoblin, used the same goblin suit from Troll 2, which was also then known as Troll 3 in Germany. But there have been plans for a sequel to Troll 2, and the audience was polled for their opinion on what it should be called. And the winning
Troll
title was
4.
Troll 2 Part 2.
Yes. Yes.
You got it. Yes.
Just do it. Do
I
it.
know I pride myself on coming up with terrible sequel titles. It's kind of the only thing I'm known for. But that is some top tier shit.
Yeah. Troll 2
Troll 2 Judgment Day.
Part 2. Oh, Nilbog's Revenge is just, it's there. Like, guys, this movie, it was so much fun to experience the movie. As in, so I just lived in the moment, I was on the text thread giggling so far, and Mrs. didn't watch the movie, but was in the next room listening. And she just kept shouting from the other room, going, "What the hell is going on?"
I picture your wife like sitting at her computer working, but your iClouds are synced, so all of our text messages are just popping up in the corner, and she's just like, "What the fuck is happening?"
She would have killed me or herself if that
Yeah,
was
true.
true, because there was 7,000 text messages.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a movie that you need to add to your repertoire. I think, like I said, like Will is going to buy the Blu-ray Steelbook ASAP. He's going to own it on every single thing. Laserdisc, reel
The
to
novel is
reel.
the novelization.
Yes.
I can't wait to read
The vegetable
novelization.
book. All right,
Oh my God.
If you guys had to pick, well, I want to introduce a new segment. If you guys had to pick one movie prop to own from this movie, what would it be?
God.
Because there's a lot.
The vegetable book is pretty big, but
Vegetable looks good.
I would have to have Gene Freak's badge.
Badge.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was
pretty
thought
good.
about that.
I would
yeah.
get a full-size tree boy
Oh.
Oh,
for the corner of the room. So
I don't know if you were allowed to say that.
just have your son carry tree parts and have him stand for.
Yeah.
I like the at the end of the movie the baseball that roll, because at the beginning when they do the family swap, the
Oh,
kid throws a
yeah.
baseball that's got written in like fucking green gel. It just says like, I forgot what it says in the beginning, but the second one is like he rotates this ball around 4 times to read like a paragraph.
Yeah.
The world's
was a cool
longest
one.
word on there. You said,
Or like a screen used corn cob.
Oh man, put that in a sealed bag. Absolutely.
Yeah.
for sure.
Though, like I was saying, this movie was shot entirely in Utah. This is a very Utah movie.
And it looked like it too. Like the scenic
Yes.
stuff was like pretty cool.
Well, that being said, so was the other movie
No.
Yeah.
We
No.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, get to the end of the movie. I'm done.
Something, Kenny Loggins, whatever.
But honestly, this other movie was at one point. So Mrs. just said, "I said, oh, I've got to watch this movie." She goes, "Great, I'll watch it with you."
Mhm.
I'm in. She was like,
Which doesn't happen often because we watch a lot of turds.
yeah, and she'll usually fall asleep. But in this case, no, she was all on board. But during the movie, it was so beautiful. We're seeing the natural background, the mountains and stuff like that of Utah. That Mrs. said, she goes, "Oh, I thought that was a matte painting." I'm like,
yeah.
no. This is like it's one of those things that really, I've talked about it before as being a Brit watching all these movies, is that when you're using just America as your production design in the background, there's some spectacular parts of the country. The United States has some spectacular moments, and it's things like that when you've got mountains in the background. Like it's things like when they were doing war games and they're in like, you just see things you just don't see in other parts of the world. And that's what this movie is really doing, is the movie Footloose, from 1984, a movie that I've only seen now twice.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever actually seen this all the way through. I feel like I have, but I definitely, this felt like a first watch for me.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. This was my first watch.
Also, this movie was banned in my hometown, so we couldn't watch it.
But that's just because your town has like a big anti-Jonathan Lithgow policy. Like that's
That town, Nilbog, USA.
yeah. Now, however, when I worked at a school for years, one of the quirks that the school had is the warning bell, the minute bell to tell everybody to get to class. They would play a song for 1 minute,
Oh no.
and the Footloose theme was one of those songs. So as a consequence, I hate this stupid theme song. I heard it every day for nearly 10 years.
Yeah,
This song
I can see that.
this song could go to hell with Grandpa.
That's pretty triggering.
Oh
My God.
Ooh.
Sick of this stupid
Wow,
song.
hot take.
Wow, yeah.
Wow, that's a hot
As
grandpa
hot as Grandpa
action.
in hell.
Yeah. That's some hot grandpa action.
Like
Yeah.
this movie, like I didn't know what it was when I saw it the first time. And honestly, I did the same thing that I did when I first watched Dirty Dancing. Is I went through the whole movie the first time just making fun of it, just poking fun throughout the whole thing. Whereas in this case, I was watching it with Mrs. and later on, and we'll get to it, Mrs. added some real sort of like nuance to this movie that made me actually appreciate it in a different way. But kind of like I started off the movie doing the same thing, just making fun of this movie. It tells the story
To your point, go ahead.
Well, very quickly. It tells the story of Kevin Bacon and the mum from Gremlins, right? That's the mum from Gremlins, isn't it?
Yep.
They moved to Beaumont, Utah, but they are from Chicago, to live with his aunt and uncle because ... something happened. I think his dad went to Nilbog and ended up in hell or something like that. It's never really explained.
Yeah.
But essentially, this movie is about the Christo-fascist state that America may one day become. This movie is actually about Nazis and freedom at its core. That's what this movie is about, because in this certain town, you can't dance. It's illegal to dance. And that is the whole premise of the movie.
Which is, I think it's based on some sort of real thing. I felt like
America.
I felt like I was.
Yes. Oh,
Did
that's
you not
right.
watch the Jesus Camp documentary from a
That's
few
correct,
weeks ago?
No, but I felt like watching this movie. I felt like I was watching a parody of this movie. If that makes sense. Like
Yes.
it is very 80s and cliche, and it's a fucking iconic classic. But comparing it to like it's a very good companion piece to Dirty Dancing. I think I even called it. It's like, oh, it's Dirty Dancing, but for chicks.
Like the movie sometimes steps into parody of itself. Like there's a scene where it's the exact scene from Hot Shots, where the first time we see Valerie Galino riding a horse, she starts doing gymnastics and just flying through the air kind of stuff. That actually happens in this movie. Like
it's from this movie, yeah.
There are very dramatic moments where it cuts away from being Kevin Bacon to quite clearly being some ballet dancer from Juilliard, or just like an actual like gymnast from.
That
from
was
the
funny to
Olympics.
me. Just completely shot in silhouette.
Like,
But I will say a lot of good like Texas switches.
There were some pretty good
Yeah.
ones. There's also like him just flying through the air, like the most dramatic "you're going to die when you land" jump through the air that they
Yeah,
show
he's like
more
ziplining
frames,
around
more
the fucking
times from
thing.
different angles, just so you can
Crazy.
get like the full on commitment of this guy when he rage dances. Like the rage
Yeah,
dance scene when it happened
iconic.
the first time. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I watched it and I'm like, it's this movie has the whitest dancing in all of movie history.
Oh my God, no
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, black
Yeah.
dancing hadn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't until Ryan Coogler's Sinners.
Finally, good music showed up in a movie. Yeah.
You're talking about the scene when the Irish guys were dancing, right?
No comment.
Absolutely.
But this movie, yeah. So the setup of this movie is basically you're not allowed to dance, and Kevin Bacon is like, "Well, that's wrong." We also get like this movie. Mrs.'s favorite part of this movie is the bromance between Kevin Bacon and Chris Penn.
That's the best part of the movie.
I love like I get a big
Christopher Penn.
Yes, Christopher Penn. Anybody else get a big old Diane Wiest infection in this particular case? Because Diane Wiest's been great and quite quiet in this movie.
Yeah.
Married to John Lithgow, who is playing just the Reverend brilliantly. And it's but for me, the standout of the movie, not necessarily for a good thing, is Laurie Singer. So Laurie Singer plays Ariel Moore,
who I've known from nothing.
Yes, but interestingly enough, like, yeah, she's basically in Footloose. Now, apparently she's in The Man with One Red Shoe. I haven't seen that. But the interesting thing about her is that she was like Juilliard's youngest ever graduate. She was an absolute genius cellist. She got into the Oregon Symphony at 13.
Holy shit.
So she is like an incredibly talented person, incredibly talented young lady. She gets into Footloose and plays a mentally ill person.
All she does in this movie is wear a cowboy hat and no bra.
Yeah, and she's a walking sort of case of daddy issues. That she's definitely sort of got some sort of mental illness that she has no problem risking anyone else's life.
That opening stunt was that's all I could think about was that is some crazy fucking shit.
The way it was being shot, the way it was being done, it's very impressive. Not to be also dismissed as well is Sarah Jessica Parker being
adorable.
just
adorable. She's
amazing.
Great. Yeah. She's great in this movie.
Oh, they said because her character name was Rusty, so they wanted her to like cut her hair down and dye it red. But she's like, I think she was coming off of like a Broadway production of Annie. I think that's right. So where she had just like, fuck, I just did that. No.
Yeah. I mean, it worked for her character. I can't imagine. Like, I don't know. That might have been too on the nose had they gone that direction. She's fantastic in this film. I'm not gonna shit on this movie as hard as maybe you guys are expecting because it is a very well-made, competent movie. Like there's honestly not like a ton of flaws. The only thing that was really throwing me off about this movie is because I told you guys in the text thread, I'm like, this feels like the kind of movie YK Kim was trying to make, because it is kind of like a very Saved by the Bell type plot.
It's very saccharine for sure.
But the stunts and the like the fighting in it is actually like so grounded and so kind of like yikes.
Oh, you mean when Kevin Bacon does a flying dance kick to end a fight with three roughnaughs? Sure.
Yeah. Well, that I'm thinking more about when the dude beats the crap out of sorry, I already forgot her name, the cellist. Ariel. Like where I'm just all of a sudden I'm like, oh, we're not having fun dance movie anymore. This is now I'm sad and I'm
watching Roadhouse.
Yeah. So the kind of that a little bit of that dissonance was kind of throwing me off a little bit. But it's still like a very competent movie. I was just kind of looking at it from the lens of like, we had watched Dirty Dancing and I'm like, that's just such a genuinely great film. And this is like not there. But it's not like it's a million miles away.
Okay, so let's get into talking about that. Thank you, Will, because I know exactly what you're saying. Because Dirty Dancing is a movie that is it's actually really, really fucking good movie.
Yeah.
Like, with a really, really interesting
Yeah.
theme and like a B plot, and for what it really involves, it's just it's like it's on the
This,
surface seems like it's just going to be so silly
yeah,
and girly.
Right.
And what it actually is a really great exploration of what it means to be a young girl becoming a young woman and everything else in between, and family relationships and, you know, abortion rights and all this kind of shit. It was like, whoa, holy shit. This
Yeah.
movie, though, it's a little bit more, it doesn't quite go as hard as like, as let's say that as Dirty Dancing does, but halfway through the movie, you know, so we're watching and my notes are like going, fuck this Nazi town.
Yeah.
And then the note says, our local school has a similar rule because some kids got killed. So the school that my kids go to, it's not an open school. You can't leave the school even as a senior to go off and have fun, because some kids did that once and they got hit, their car got hit on the train crossing.
oh,
Right,
Yes.
because it's
I
where
thought you were
where
going to
we
say
are.
it was dance related. I'm like,
No, but
that's
where
so
we
much
are,
worse.
we've got the train lines that go through my town. We've got all
Uh-huh.
these sort of things. But this is, guys, a long time ago. This is a
Yeah.
long time ago, and there's still this rule at our local school that why? Because the kids got killed. And then Zen goes on to talk about how much of a revelation this movie was for Gen X kids like her. Mrs. grew up in a town of 1,000 people in Texas. And Gen X's were all raised, you know, in a sort of like the parenting of boomers was very much, you just do what we tell you to do. Why? Because I said so. There was no actual talking or discussion. It was just arbitrary rules handed down. And Zen and her friends and people in the Gen X all around America watching this movie, because you're isolated from the world. You know, your small town has its sort of rules. This is before the internet. So you're limited by sort of what you can see. And it was these kids standing up to these draconian rules and just wanting to have fun and dance. That's when I started watching the movie a little bit differently. That as the movie goes on from there, what it actually is becoming is kind of like this, like I said, because you get the preacher, you know, sorry, the priest or whatever, the reverend is the correct term, gets everybody all sort of like G'd up, but then they go so far to the point of now they're burning books.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and it's like that, and he comes running up and he's like, who are you to stand in judgment? You know, go home and stand in judgment against yourself. And it was a really interesting that I'm like, oh, okay, there's a little bit more to this movie, sort of getting into, like I said, that sort of like the Christo-fascist kind of like just using the church to then just program people to be anti this and anti that, and no, you can't dance, and no, you can't read, and this is pornography, and like, you know, I was like, there's a bigger message to this movie instead of it just being Kevin Bacon wants to dance.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was a little worried this movie was going to be going into. It was going to be almost, you know, kind of like Breakin', where it's like the message behind it is so shallow, and it's not really. It is, you know, more developed than that. And I really appreciated like Jonathan Lithgow's character, like his arc, you know, where he starts off really hardline, but you see him like through this movie, he has his like kind of realization about like the kind of life he's providing for his daughter and kind of like the struggle she's going through, and kind of like realizing, oh, I've gone too far. And the book burning scene being a real sort of like the light bulb switching on moment for him, where he's just like, oh, am I the problem?
Yeah.
I might be the problem.
That and the scene with his daughter inside
Yes.
inside the chapel or the church.
Which that was my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah,
me
I
too.
was like, that's like such a good, well written, well acted scene.
Yes.
So no, it is a good movie. You know, I was just coming at it from, you know, a 2026 perspective, and I'm like, all right, it's a little the majority of the film, a little kind of like white bread, a little kind of like, all right, yep, I get it. But I could see at the time it came out being a little bit more revelatory in that
Yeah.
sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Ariel character, you know, as much as I was at the beginning just like, oh my God, this chick is dangerous. She's mentally ill. She's far too horny. Like,
Yeah.
and she's like, just like I said, the walking embodiment of daddy issues. Like when she's putting on her cowboy boots, post-coital, you know, and she said, my daddy hates these boots. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to wear them every day to anger my dad. But like I said, the actual growth of her character to then having that head-to-head sort of moment with her dad. You know, even like Diane Wiest as being the one that's kind of like, you know, she's just like you, and you used to have your own special thing, and I used to be jealous. You know, there's actual sort of like character depth to everybody in this movie. You know, I was like, oh, okay, movie. I did you dirty the first time.
This movie also, like, it does have our favorite like 80s movie tropes of there's a bunch of fucking montages in this. You get the montage where he's teaching Chris Penn's character, who famously had no idea how to dance, and then you get the montage of John Lithgow doing his Bible sermon, cutting to it's like him and the old ladies, and like just the same
like
speech over and over and over again. And then you get like the classic 80s gremlin of Ariel's character revealing the horrific death of her brother, like on the bridge, like in a gremlin style thing. I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucking dark. And they just glaze right past it.
I mean, I did like that when we get to the rage dancing scene, the movie then gives us a Rocky level flashback of the previous 15 minutes of the movie, all the way up to even like one of the flashbacks being the previous scene, just in case like none of us had been able to figure out what he's rage dancing about. It literally
flashes
shows up.
Like I said, this movie is just Karate Kid for pussies.
He even does the crane kick at the end to defeat one of the bad guys. I'm like, oh, he LaRusso'd him. Nice.
This was after Dirty Dancing, yeah.
This movie is
1984.
Okay, let's look.
No, I think Dirty Dancing was
86.
Oh, wow. See, I'm in my mind. I'm like, oh, they're just trying to like capitalize off the massive success of Dirty Dancing. Like we're just going to do a Dirty Dancing again. Like that's. So
I think Footloose is what was the first Bruckheimer movie? Flashdance.
Flashdance,
right?
yeah.
That was a movie that I've never seen. Flashdance. I remember watching. So that's 83. That's the year before. But like, I just remember like seeing clips from the song that comes from the movie
era
like, why is there a welder
of this movie soundtrack? Put them together. Like, let's write a hit song and then wrap a movie around it.
Well, that was the Don Simpson approach. Like, if you look at every Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer movie, like be it Top Gun, be it like every single one is exactly like you said, Ryan. Like Beverly Hills Cop 2.
It's just
it's
Bruckheimer and Simpson crushing a rail of cocaine, saying, "Get me Kenny Loggins."
Yeah. But it is exactly that they would bring in someone in, have a massive song for that movie, and it's like the absolute plot of every single Simpson movie is the same thing of just essentially go up against it. There's got to be a competition at some point or contest, and you've got to win.
It was a phenomenal formula.
It worked every single goddamn time. It's like yum yum yum. Yep, give me some more. I'll take that on. Thank you very much.
Well, it worked until Days of Thunder, and then very famously, it did not.
Well, that's actually, if you want to see a great in-depth discussion about that, there is the Patrick H. Willems movie, the movie that destroyed or that broke the 80s, or like that was a great one. I learned so much about a movie that I deeply love. I love Days of Thunder.
So do I. Yeah.
But I didn't know know until watching that Don Simpson is in the movie. And just how much of him was cut out of the movie as he was just, I'm going to be a star.
Tom Cruise said, no, you're not. And Tom, once again, was right.
Sure you are. Speaking of Tom Cruise, he was one of the people almost cast. Tom Cruise and Rob Lowe, both very close to being cast.
For the Sarah Jessica Parker role?
Yes. Yes, very much. A role that also Madonna was considered for the role of Ariel.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, Valerie Bertinelli.
Those make more sense, but Madonna's crazy.
Yeah, that would have been honestly crazy though. Would have been all in.
I could see like a Swayze in the lead role,
for sure.
Kind of had it been Swayze, then we never would have got him later. For
that is true. Yeah, I mean, Kevin Bacon he's so iconic in this role. It's hard to picture a different lead actor in this.
God, I was just he's 67 years old now. Still looks good. Getting him credit. I said that to Mrs. She's like, "What the fuck?"
Oddly enough, he's also in Peter Dinklage's The Toxic Avenger.
Oh yes, he is.
Good bit of overlap there.
So like Footloose is actually based loosely on the true story of Oklahoma.
It's foot
Elmore
loosely.
City. Foot loosely adapted from.
Boo.
But yeah, the town banned dancing since it was founded in 1898. And so this is like, based off a true story kind of thing. But no, this movie has so much sort of iconography that is just still even if you've never seen the movie, you've seen bits of
the grain factory, or it's like a flour mill that he works at. Right?
the flour mill like that he's working at, the like I said, the bit where like Ariel just screaming at the train.
That was crazy.
Yeah, like it's
this movie feels dangerous. Like that's the thing too. Like not just this, like obviously the iconic tractor chicken sequence, which is so hilariously stupid to me.
Yeah,
It goes on for so long.
It's very much like the Austin Powers, the guy standing in front of
it
him.
had to have been what inspired that scene. Like,
and the idea that like they're playing chicken, but he can't get off because his shoelace is tied to the thing, so he just was like. But I like the dissonance of like the Bonnie Tyler's "I Need a Hero," like that song juxtaposed with that scene is so fucking funny to me.
It's funny. What was that song? Let's hear. No, that's not. But yes, that song is for me. What movie do you think?
Short Circuit.
Short Circuit 2, right?
Yeah. Oh,
for
absolutely.
me, it's Short Circuit 2. And then Mrs. was like, no, this is a Footloose song.
Yeah.
For me, Short Circuit 2. It's Michael McKean riding on his back. It's like Johnny Five is going to take care of business. This movie.
Yeah.
You have to understand that Bonnie Tyler song was like the Max Richter song of the 80s. Just like, we have a sequence here. We've got Kevin Bacon. We got to get this song like that. But again, like that tractor sequence where the tractor like falls over the side. I'm like, geez, like this guy could have fucking died.
Yeah. I mean, if there's one serious flaw for me with this movie, it is the music overall. Not only, yes, I obviously I hate the theme song, but that I Need a Hero being there is just so.
It's very cliche.
It's very cliche, and I don't know.
But this was the first time they used it, so you can't really like fault it for that.
Sure, but it's such a wacky use of that song.
It was, but yeah, it's
the
such
rest
a peculiar shit.
But this like incredibly dangerous thing that they're doing to have that song, it just there was just like this weird disconnect for me. I love it, but it was just hilarious.
Yeah, and I think the rest of the soundtrack too is just really kind of one of those 80s soundtracks that just for me, I'm like, don't like any of these 80s songs. They found like every 80s song that I don't like and put it all on one soundtrack. To me, that is the weakest part of this film.
Every song you would hear at every wedding from like 1984 on.
Speaking of weddings, Kevin Bacon is quoted as saying that whenever he attended a wedding, at some point, fucking DJ is going to start playing Footloose, and he goes, people would start clapping like for him like a trained monkey, and he started requesting DJs to please just don't play it.
Yeah, he would pay them, man.
But the thing is, I remember this is what's so funny.
That seems like that maybe happened one time. That's
well, I remember this Kevin Bacon moment from Wimbledon 25 years ago, where basically there was kind of like a rain delay. And I remember him telling this story. I haven't seen the moment kind of thing, but basically everyone's delayed. We can't do anything. They spot that Kevin Bacon's in the audience. They get him on sort of screen and stuff. But then that's kind of what happened is everyone's like, "Oh, Kevin Bacon's here," and they all start going, trying to get him to dance. It's like, fucking kill me.
Kevin Bacon pulled out a gun and everyone stopped.
But it's like, it's one of those, like, you can't be angry at it.
He just gets up and does the monologue from A River Wild. I was in other things. Remember the bicycle one I did?
Dance, Kevin.
But at the same time, like, you can't, like, it's one of the most iconic characters from an iconic movie. Like, forever, Kevin Bacon is Footloose. It is like, like for Tom Cruise, it's Top Gun. You know what I mean? But like for Kevin Bacon, if you think Kevin Bacon, the first thing you think of is Footloose. The first thing you think of is the cover of Footloose. The first thing you think of is the dance scene in your head.
And like even the opening sequence of all like the close-ups of I think I wrote like, oh, this is like Quentin Tarantino's favorite title sequence.
Yes.
All famous people's feet on the shoes.
Yes. Actually, that was a really cool like way to open it, like with the dancing, with all of the sort of the different shoes. And I was just wondering, okay, how much of that was produced? You know, like someone had this really, really beaten up Chuck Taylor sort of like
I think there's a thing on IMDb trivia that talks about that. Like it's all the casts like doing that, wearing different shoes.
Let's see.
But yeah, they play that Footloose song they play it once the beginning for the opening sequence, then they play it halfway through when they go to that like country bar.
Yeah.
And then they play it at the very end.
Yep.
Oh man, that
Too many
country bar
times.
was missing the detectives from Action USA. That's what it was missing.
Oh,
And I like I was gonna say I like the part where they cross state lines to go to the Melody Ranch.
I do like so Chris Penn, like Mrs. loves the Chris Penn Kevin Bacon sort of like friendship. Now, so like you're saying, famously Chris Penn couldn't actually dance,
Right.
and like you know you kind of see the growth. That is a really fun, but the way they became friends is so guy coded that like they bump into each other in the like the corridor. Chris Penn's getting angry. Kevin Bacon essentially goes, "Yeah, well, your hat's gay," and he goes,
Yeah,
"I
basically.
like you."
yeah. You're right.
We should be
I mean,
friends.
I will say it's it skirted my expectations. I thought for sure it's like, oh, typical like school bully. He's the new
Here we
kid.
go.
All the girls are looking at him, and then they basically just fucking kiss at the lockers. It's great.
Yeah.
You like dancing too? And when Kevin Bacon's telling him that really like inappropriate story at the cafeteria, and he's like, "Nah, I'm just fucking with you. We just danced, and then I went home." Look, okay. Chris Penn is so fucking like his like doe-eyed dumb face is just so.
I have
so
the exact
enraptured
quote
by
from
the
me.
story.
Chris Penn has a really great dumb face. Like he's just got like huh? His
Like
mouth's kind of open. His mouth breathing.
Like, if you would have told me his character name was Moose, I would have believed it. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Okay, so the dancing feet in the opening credit sequence is many of the cast and crew. You are correct. Over 150 different pairs of feet were shot, and the dancer with gold shoes was Kenny Loggins. There you go. Fascinating and interesting sort of information. Yeah, this movie though, like I said, I stopped making fun of it and just started kind of enjoying it, like little bits as well, like the guy that he works for at the flour mill or whatever, the seed mill, being kind of like very, very sort of like country and moustachy and like, but he was kind of like that open-minded guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of the one almost encouraging, you know, Kevin Bacon is like, oh, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you know, not everybody thinks that way. Maybe you should do something about that. And even like giving them the place to do it. You know, I kind of liked that part as well. He was a slightly more complicated character. Instead of it being like they're very obvious, like you're just saying, Ryan, you know, you see it, people turn up and you go, oh, here we go. It's going to be that character or this character. None of them really are. The only sort of like basic sort of like character in a way is Ariel's not boyfriend. Yeah.
Right.
He's got the truck and he's kind of like got the aggro and he's like, oh,
who beats the ever living shit out of her. Like, Jesus Christ, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
She fights pretty damn well as well. Like it was pretty violent. And I love how that's just never addressed. She's just walking around with bruises on her face.
Yeah.
Like, guess you shouldn't
Probably
fight with dude.
You shouldn't have gotten so mouthy, bro. Like, it's just like, I was like, fucked up. Fucked up.
Yeah, there's a lot I like about this movie.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was gonna suck. Like I said, I've watched it once, and I rewatched it again. And like I said, the context that Mrs. gave me halfway through really did make me start watching it in a different way. And that's when I really did start seeing a lot more of the nuance, a lot more of the, you know, and honestly, like I said, the whole proto-fascist kind of like undercurrent to this movie. You know, but just sprinkled in with like, and then we just get to the end and then we have a dance. Then we have a dance scene where for some reason people know the dance moves. You know, but I'll tell you what, like when I am at Melody Ranch and fucking
wait, hang on. This town that has banned dancing, he organizes this dance, and yet they all know the dance. Have they never danced before?
There's a kid that knows the robot. There's another kid that's a break dancer, and then suddenly everybody starts. You know, like clearly they've got pro dancing because one of them enters the dance thing by doing a kick up, which is like just insane. Like it's something out of like Juilliard itself.
Yeah, that's what it does become kind of like Breakin', where it's just like
It's
all of
a
a sudden,
movie.
yeah, it's like, Kevin Bacon says, "Let's dance," and then it
Iconic,
becomes
yeah.
a very 80s
I will
movie
say
at
though,
that
like
point.
that said, I would still probably go back to watch Dirty Dancing before I'd watch this one again.
Yeah.
You know,
100%,
like
100% agree.
I'm glad we did this, and I finally watched it all the way through. But now that I have, I'm like, I'm in no rush to see this movie again.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly because Dirty Dancing is iconic. This one is like iconic in a different way but Dirty Dancing it's such a surprise. That's why I think Dirty Dancing is just such a well executed, brilliantly acted, so much chemistry, kind of like, but even it ends in a movie with a dance number, but the
Right.
dance number makes sense
Yes.
because that's what they
They were
would have
rehearsing
done.
the dance.
Yeah,
Yes,
the whole
and-
movie is rehearsing for that moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, again, the only part that feels like tacked on really at the end of this movie is the bad guys turn up, so we get to have a quick fight because it's the 80s. We have to get the good guys to win the fight, and then like I said, it comes down. We break the fourth wall, look right down the camera, go, let's dance, and then we all dance.
Kevin Bacon and Chris Penn, they get like the shit kicked out of them too. Like they would be bloody and bruised going back into this dance.
Yeah.
And like because they single-handedly take on like what 3 or 4 guys, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 4 guys. Yes.
2 at a time.
Yeah.
The Kevin Bacon's flying like dragon kick is
It's great.
hysterical to me. But we also forget like the scene when Kevin Bacon has to he's at like the town hall trying to get them to switch. He's like he's using the Bible against them. He's like, oh no, see it says here, and they're like, okay, we're good.
Yeah,
And then
real-
you get that
Diane
sweet
Weiss
scene
bit
with
where she just makes the woman sit down.
yeah.
And, it's like it was just cool.
A
It's
subtle
just like,
performance. I like the Diane Weiss, John Lithgow scene when they're outside of the church,
Yes.
like listening in, and then they definitely fuck.
yes,
Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, Diane Weiss is great in this
sure.
movie. Like she's fantastic.
They're like, hey, our daughter sucks. Let's have another one.
Like the other, the wrong kid.
The wrong kid died. The wrong kid danced. Yeah.
Another
He
part.
dies like the story is like they were playing that like car like I forget what they called it, like highway chicken or something on the bridge, and the car went off, and like not just he died, but like everyone involved.
4 people died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another part that like Mrs. brought up, because you have no idea how like what a big deal this was, But it was just the male locker room scene is male buns and nudity in this scene. Like Zen was like, no, you have no idea. Like teenage girls were like,
I'm just picturing Carrie Byron in the theaters, like housing popcorn. Oh my god!
Apparently, they were each paid $20. The guys in that scene, and just here, $20. Take your clothes off.
What's the old saying? I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. We do need a segment for these type of movies where we have Carrie Byron chime in and talk about her experience with Footloose.
But honestly, I wanted part of me, I almost was gonna set up having Mrs. come on and be a guest. And I think we should do a Mrs. special because there's a movie she needs us to watch. But it's
Troll 2.
Yeah, Troll 2 again. But no, is that listening, like I said, it's a whole side of Zen like I hadn't heard of. It was us watching a movie we'd never watched together and hearing her, it came out in 84. So she was like, she was 9-10 years old.
Oh, wow.
When this movie came out, and listening to her sort of like talk about it really did like, because there are certain movies that have like a sort of cultural moment.
Yeah.
And she was there for the cultural moment, and she was part of that. She was like the target demographic. That's sort of 10, 11, 12, sort of 13, 14 girls.
In that small town. I mean, I can only imagine like seeing this and being like, oh, this movie is for me.
Right. Like exactly, because watching it as a sort of like a Brit, born in Hong Kong, like it's just such an American, like, whoa, that's so weird. Oh, a town where like you can't dance, or like, like the tractors and all this kind of shit was like, interesting.
It's so I wonder if at the time too, like, because if you get a movie with that type of messaging that comes out now, it feels a little like forced and ham-fisted. I wonder if this kind of felt the same way in '84, like if the response to it was like
probably depending on your age,
right?
If you were older, you're probably like, okay. But yeah, if you were younger, especially in a smaller town,
if you had fucking Kevin Bacon posters, like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's probably as profound an experience as the one I had watching Bloodsport for the first time and realizing you can do the splits to punch somebody in the nuts. It like blew my mind. It just changed my whole
You're
world.
still
How many
training.
times did
Still
you try
training
to
to
do
do it,
that?
right? Well,
You're just hoping a Chris Penn character comes up to you and
I'm so ready. If I ever get blinded by sand, I'm so ready for.
but it's like, yeah, this movie did like it landed. It made 80 million domestic
Jesus.
in 84. It was the seventh highest grossing film of 1984.
That's $2 trillion in today's money.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's like it got a lot of like very mixed reviews. Like Roger Ebert was like a seriously confused movie that tries to do three things and does all of them badly.
I can see that though. Like I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would not. I would have argued against badly. That's a little harsher than I would have gone in my review, but I understand.
It is such a flimsy, like I can completely see Zen's perspective on it, and that's such an important thing. But like from just an outsider watching it as movie, like it does feel like a very flimsy
Mhm.
string of events like put together to just say like I don't know, it just didn't connect with me the same way. Like,
It's missing the juice that
Yeah.
like other movies of the same time had.
yeah,
So I thought so. So the movie was rated R but trimmed down to get PG, which is a bit less male nudity, but they removed a couple of fucks. And I saw people say, I was like, they said
Yeah.
fuck. Like,
Yeah.
and like it was just changed. There was
but
one,
they changed it to like freak or something.
yeah, there was like, it was during the dance one where he said like flake off or something
Yes,
like
that was for sure.
Oh,
when
yeah.
when Chris Penn confronts the guy dancing with Sarah Jessica Parker.
That was one, and another one was right before Boyfriend started punching Ariel. There was definitely one there as well,
Right.
and I was like, "Oh, okay." I think this movie, like, they went a little harder than they initially went, made it a bit grittier, and then kind of pulled it back,
It does feel like that.
Kind of
Yeah.
found that sort of like, because like you were saying, Ryan, as well, it felt a little dangerous at times.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this
So
is
it's
such a
interesting
stumble.
how sort of like some of that I think stuck around. There's a bit like I think maybe that's why the movie works for me. I think in a way is that there are more grown-up themes
Hmm.
in the movie, like grown-up themes with the relationship between the father and the daughter, with the husband and wife, and all this kind of stuff. And then it's kind of been pulled back a little bit to made it a bit more of an 80s movie. And I think that's it works in its benefit.
And it's such a generational thing too. Like you're saying, like if you watched this back then, you were the age of these high school characters, but now, you watch it as an adult, you're like, yeah, John Lithgow was right. Fuck them kids.
Yeah, this movie, I dug it. This movie, I dug it. I enjoyed it. I mean, there were not nearly enough
It's a
goblins.
classic for a reason,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, not nearly enough goblins or ninjas or more explosions.
Right.
It's a very American movie as well. It's like, you know what I mean? Like that's why, when I first came up with the idea of doing this podcast, it's like, there's some movies that are just so American. You can't really make that movie elsewhere. It is. And like kind of like
Yeah.
setting it in Utah and then having the sort of the religious component on top of it
Right. That's huge.
works. And then using that sort of like, iconography of Utah. I mean, I remember when I first went to Utah, I went to Park City to do this Red Bull thing, right? I remember landing at Salt Lake City and where
And then you got to drive to Park City.
yeah, it's a nice drive. But it's like you land and you're just surrounded, like in every direction you look, by this ring of these sort of like snow-capped mountains. And you're like, wait, this? Because whenever you picture Utah, I'd never pictured that. And it's like, and then you kind of get out. It's like it's a really, really, really pretty state in lots of ways, and I think they used it really well in this particular movie. Like, so that's kind of what I want to get into, is because last time around we had a champion that a lot of people in Utah seem to sort of like gravitate towards, which is SLC Punk, which is all shot around Salt Lake City, and I was like, I'm interested to see whether like because they very, very like Utah is never mentioned in either movie, even though they're very specifically set there.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
And
we
only
do
by
get
license plate.
yeah, I was gonna say we do get a couple license plates in Troll 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know. I definitely with Flashdance, Footloose. Man,
Flash loose.
Flash Loose, Dirty Foot. Um, yeah, the religious element is there, but you know, also with Utah, you do kind of think more Mormon,
Right.
really.
I was wondering that. too.
So you could kind of again set Footloose kind of a lot of different places in the Midwest, and
Well, you could.
know,
They didn't. And I want to go. It's
yeah.
kind of want to go back a little bit to what we had where Entertain the Elk.
Mhm.
He had a like sort of great point about when we were sort of trying to do Action USA and for Texas, but about the idea of a movie loving the state
Mm.
that it's kind of
True.
from. And I would say like say SLC Punk is one of those movies that's kind of like, I remember we were talking about how it's trying to be edgy.
It's a very different
Mm.
side of it too. A very different side of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
state.
Yes, it's kind of like an undercurrent and it's kind of a bit counterculture and kind of a bit dramatic in a way. Whereas, Footloose, it's just a kind of like interesting, joyful. Basically, I was saying that if I was from Utah, I'd probably like, if I wasn't some
I think
crazy religious person, but I'd be like, oh, Footloose is kind of like, yeah, look, that's kind of
I-
my state right there.
I think Footloose is more of like the state, whereas SLC Punk is straight up Salt Lake, like rural, like or like urban Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, in a different, like in a very specific like span of time.
Mhm.
Whereas
Yeah.
Footloose is a little more broad in scope for the state.
And interestingly, sort of timeless. That
Yeah.
Footloose could have been set in the 50s.
I was,
Mhm.
I was outside of the vehicles. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this could be. I mean, this could be set anytime, really.
Yeah, it's essentially just like the music and music and the cars that
And
sort of
and the hair.
brings it a bit 80s, but at the same time, and like it's almost all of like the school interplay as well. It was kind of like reminding me of the Wraith of like when they're all at the
Keep saying
the
that.
burger place and they start playing
Yeah.
music and it's like
Mhm.
I mean honestly,
even Packard as like her boyfriend is kind
Right.
of like pretty spot on.
just missing
Mhm.
Lucas on
You're
it.
saying Footloose is just the Wraith, but with dancing?
Yeah, just with not enough
Wraith is-
Charlie Sheen.
Wraith is Footloose with cars? I don't know.
But so that's kind of like my approach is that I almost kind of feel like I'm leaning towards Footloose. Like even though SLC Punk is very specifically SLC Salt Lake City, it's shot there.
Right.
It's very,
Mhm.
very, very Utah.
I would pick Utah. I would pick Footloose over SLC Punk for sure.
I think, yeah, I would agree.
That
Yeah.
said, I would pick Troll 2 over
So
Footloose.
Right.
Troll is the champion.
So Troll 2 wins. Yes. Because that's a documentary.
I was worrying how we were gonna get there.
Oh, there's no worries. We'll get there. There's nothing to worry about. But seriously, do you want to make Troll 2 the champion?
Well, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Threaten me with a good time.
I liked the music in Troll 2. So come on.
Yeah, I just want to see if Troll 2 goes the distance and wins the whole goddamn thing.
The most American movie.
The
made
prize
by
for
an
which
Italian
is
director.
the prize for which is nothing.
Just lots of green food.
So I agree. So the new champion for
Yes.
Utah, we're doing it. We're doing
Yes,
it,
yes,
guys.
yes.
Oh my
Is Troll
God.
2. Why would it
I-
not be?
I
We
can't
are
wait
so
to look
good
at the
at
winner
this.
list next year and be like, how the fuck did we pick Troll 2? That happens every time.
Because no, we could go
Self-evident.
with the punky,
That would be the most obvious one, yeah.
the
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction-esque sort of like edgy SLC Punk. No, Flashdance.
It's the movie that it's the movie that Coven could have been.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We could have yes, Footloose might be an 80s iconic, amazing
Yeah.
movie filled with Utah iconography, but is it Troll 2?
Sure, and Footloose has like maybe there's like a Broadway version of it, maybe there's like a Lega sequel, or I'm pretty sure there's like a more modern like
There was-
2015s, right?
There was a Lega sequel, yes, they did make that, or sort of like a remake, basically. Though
They're
I
all
did
in
think
we-
it did have Kevin Bacon in. Now I think
I was
about
like, they're all in wheelchairs. What did they do for that one?
Wheel loose. Yeah.
it. But let's be honest.
My Left Footloose.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's
Hold on.
amazing. Okay, well
Daniel
that's
Day-Lewis's character from My
Okay,
Left Foot learned
yeah.
to dance.
sorry. That's
God damn it.
that's the movie poster you have to design this week. My Left Footloose.
You have to get Danny Day-Lewis in the wheelchair.
You've got to do it, Ryan.
What the-
You've got to do
on
it.
the dance floor.
How can you can't speak something like that into existence and not come through on the other side, buddy?
This is-
My Left Footloose
This
is
is
the
Purple
movie.
Rain all over again. Oh my my god.
Oh my god!
The original music by Sylvester Stallone.
At some point in every episode, Ryan says that thing that kills me. That's the one.
Oh,
My left
man.
foot loose. Ah, wow. You don't get to finish the day. The great thing about you, Ryan, is that when you do speak something like that into existence, you can't rest until you've made it real.
It truly is a gift and a curse.
You can move on with your week. You're like, I need to do this $1 million design, but I have to do my left foot loose.
Something we should sell should be like fake Criterion covers for the movies that Ryan has.
Oh my god!
Suggested.
Honestly, I was actually going to send this thing to you, Ryan. I saw it today on Threads, but it was about a guy that said 5 years ago I started making fake movie posters for fun, like of real movies, and he goes, and now it's my full-time job. This is what this guy does: is he does movie posters for the big studios.
That's cool.
Ryan, I left Footloose.
Criterion Collection, My Left Foot Loose.
I mean, I've seen people that make like modern VHS covers, like or I should say VHS covers for modern films, which I think is super cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
Okay, I'm looking up My Left Foot. I need to find out what the tagline was.
Oh god, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you saw.
I've been right all along.
The hits keep coming.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I just do it for his response. Like,
that was good. That was so stupid.
In my mind, it's like it's just a severed foot on a dance floor.
I think it's got to be Daniel Day-Lewis's character.
It's the opening shot where everyone's feet is dancing.
The funny thing is, I've never seen My Left Foot.
No,
I thought it was
right.
wasn't.
Oh,
I'm thinking of the piano. I was like, wasn't Adrian Brody in that one?
No. It's the one where the guy has
cerebral palsy,
clubfoot. Oh shit!
Oh
no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
That's the only way he can communicate.
Oh my god!
That's what I'm saying. That character.
Why did you let me go along with this? Oh my god!
Yes, I actually owned it for the longest time and never watched it. I had it on DVD for like a decade and never watched it.
And now you have a reason to, because of that stupid joke.
Isn't it a true story as well? But yes,
it's about a real guy.
Yeah, Christy Brown had cerebral palsy in a large, poor Irish family. Mum recognizes he's got intelligence and humanity, and he starts basically writing and painting with his left foot.
Oh, it's a real knee slapper. It's so funny. Yeah,
I've heard it's incredible.
A real toe curler.
Yeah,
it's it's Daniel Day-Lewis being Daniel Day-Lewis.
It's the movie that birthed the joke from Tropic Thunder, I assume, right? Like you never go full Nilbog.
Yeah.
You never gonna go full goblin.
I was just watching that clip actually. It's been going around a lot actually because of that Drewski skit that's been going around.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's been talking about Robert Downey Jr. going. It's the best example ever of like, honestly, it's been so long since I've seen that. That guy's amazing. What were we talking about? Oh yes, you completely derailed me with My Left Foot Loose. Okay, great. We'll get back to that. That's what we were talking about. Yes. So the champion that we have here is Troll 2.
Yeah.
We're doing it. It's just the way it is because I want to see what happens as well. That being said, it was a real slog for us to be able to pick. When we were like, before we recorded our last episode, we were sitting down planning which of the movies are we going to pick for Utah. And it took us 30 minutes where we ended up with Footloose and Troll 2, because there's not a lot of movies based in Utah or Utah-centric movies. And it was I can't even remember. The fact that we were like scraping the bottom of the barrel and ended up with Troll 2.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, man, Utah, you need more movies.
Yeah,
because it was tricky. I can't even think of what
I had one picked. It was Clay Pigeons, but because it was like, yes, it was shot entirely in Utah, but I think it was set in Montana, so we didn't really pick that one. I know Will was going to pick An American Tail, Five Will Goes West.
Naturally, yep.
that we could have done, and another one that was like 127 hours.
Yeah, you did mention that,
which I've never seen. This is interesting.
Danny Boyle, right?
Yes, there's a whole thing on, like, there's a person on Reddit who is on the autism spectrum. And
Just
Well,
one.
that's all of
One
Reddit.
person.
You
But,
need to narrow it down.
but their hyperfocus is 127 hours. They've watched it like hundreds of times. They own it on multiple. But the thing is, like, even the people found that on Reddit. Like, it was just this guy that loves it. That the people they've sent all kinds of cool stuff to this guy.
Nice.
Just because he's upset, like he just loves watching 127 hours. And I'm like, man, of all the movies to get, like, because my son's his hyperfocus was the movie Cars. So I saw it 350 times. And I honestly, one of the most rewatchable movies ever. But I can't imagine.
Will, what was yours?
It's all the scenes with the witch lady from Troll 2.
That's right.
So how many severed arms has this guy gotten by
Right,
now at this point?
exactly.
Like,
That's the
whole
thing.
closet full of them.
Hereditary was another one I think we mentioned.
It's so funny. I watched that recently, and you do get shots of like that sweeping landscape in Utah.
So there's a few.
Another knee slapper.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So there's a few, but I feel like I'm happy where we ended up. Like
God,
watching
I just
something.
want Ollie to watch Hereditary. I want to watch Ollie watch Hereditary.
Did we?
Yeah.
No, dude. I'm good. But we'll see. Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Another title for that movie: Head Loose.
Didn't we do the movie It Follows? Right? Did we?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
director for that's now got a new movie coming out that a lot of people are talking about. Ewan McGregor, Anne Hathaway.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Where
saw
was
just
like,
people are talking about it, and I was intrigued. What got me interested is from the director of It Follows,
Mhm.
and I went ooh. And I'll tell you what, like I said, that is not a sentence I would have ever been able to say if it wasn't for this podcast. You
That's
guys
true.
have taught me that horror movies can be fun.
Mhm.
So you know what? We'll figure it out. We'll do Hereditary, and we'll do it as a group watch, and you guys,
Yeah.
and then we'll do Terrified too.
finally.
That being said, we have just completed season 2 technically, because season 1 of the show went to every single state in America, except, it turns out, Nebraska.
I blame your stupid magical pencil that you were flipping for this one.
We counted. How did we figure this? But we got it wrong. Last season, we never went to the state of Nebraska. So this time around, next week, we are going to take our first trip to Nebraska, which means we have to pick 3 movies. That being said, well, one of the movies we couldn't help but not pick, because everyone is like, if you're doing Nebraska, the best movie about Nebraska, set in Nebraska, is the movie Nebraska.
It's the Ron Seal quick drying movies.
It does exactly what it says on the tin. So we're going to do the movie Nebraska. Came out in 2013, black and white movie. Though I have heard it's very good. Will Forte, Bruce Dern. Currently, it is on Prime Video, but it leaves in 2 days. So if you're listening to this and the episode drops today, you've got 1 day to watch it. Actually, everywhere on our non-sponsor sponsor, we will one day be a sponsor. It is currently streaming in places, but everywhere it's streaming, it leaves in 2 days. So that being said, it could move to another streamer in 2 days. We'll figure that one out. So we're doing Nebraska, but we're also doing 2 other movies that I'm quite interested in watching, both of which I haven't seen for a long time. Gene Freak, can you remember one of the movies that we chose?
I can remember one of them, so that's why I'm glad I'm going first. Election, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Okay.
1999 movie Election. Sort of like, I remember watching that and it catching me off guard. But it's Reese Witherspoon, right? Matthew Broderick. It's a kind of like, I remember it being very funny, very different.
It's a very
kind of
dark comedy. Yeah.
Yes.
Very dark. Yeah.
So I'm very interested in seeing
I
that one.
actually owned this movie on DVD.
Wow.
I remember
don't
just
know where
like
the fuck
getting
it
into
is,
that,
but
getting into that movie and it not being the movie that I thought, and like and it being a really good Matthew Broderick, like Reese Witherspoon, great.
Yes.
Isn't Chris Klein
Chris Klein is in it.
is
yeah.
in this movie as well? So I'm into it. Currently on our non-sponsor sponsor, who will one day be a sponsor, Just Watch. You can find it on, I think,
All
Paramount.
3 of these movies are streaming on Canopy if you have a library card.
Yes, they are all on Canopy. I am noticing this one is currently on Paramount Plus, and then
Which I was going to get a library card until I realized you have to physically go to a library to get one. So Fuck that.
And we have another movie that I loved as a kid, haven't watched for a long time.
Ever since someone called you Dick Nose.
Dude, starring one of my all-time favorite people ever. Ryan, can you remember the movie?
The movie from 2011, Teen Wolf.
Oh wait, 1985 movie.
85, yeah.
Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox. Yes, it is on the Roku channel. It is on YouTube, free with ads. It's on Canopy for free, and might be on Prime Video as well. So next time around, it may not be next week because we have 3 movies to watch, but next time around, we are going to go finally to the real place it exists.
We are going to record live from Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Here we go.
We're doing the movie Nebraska. We're doing the movie Election, and we're doing the movie 1985 Teen Wolf. It's going to be fascinating that we finally will have finished after however many episodes. We will finally have done all 50 states here.
Some would say too many.
Yeah, and right before America's actual finale, so we got it in just under the wire.
Get in there just in time. So join us next time when the show comes back. We'll be going to Nebraska Election, and Teen Wolf. Don't forget as well, if you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't, do us a favor, subscribe, jump in the comments, make some funny jokes, especially about the things that Ryan says out loud. Also, make sure you bother him repeatedly until we get my left Footloose poster. It's going to be incredible. If you want to see Ryan's designs, you can always find him as RYNO Digital, Rhino Digital. And we have started putting up some of his posters up on our Instagram and our Facebook page, where you can find it as United States of a Movie. If you want to find more of Gene Freak, also known as Will Hirsch, you can find him as Entitled Millennial on Instagram and TikTok, always getting into interesting things about movies new and old. And you can find me, the English troll in Texas, as that Englishman in Texas everywhere else except for Facebook, where you can find me as Ollie Pettigrew. That was a silly and fun week, guys. Honestly, if you want to watch Troll 2 later and do another text along, I'm on board.
Call me.
Do it.
Yeah. It's just on repeat.
Yeah.
As it should be. So this was a really fun week, guys. I really enjoyed it. But yes, next week we'll finally become a real podcast and have done all 50 states. But from Ryan, from Will, and from that English troll in Texas, thank you for watching this episode of Nilbog.
Oh my God.